we're back talking some more of The Mandalorian Season 3 on the channel. We have reached the conclusion of Season 3 with this week's episode, and the anticipation leading up to the finale has been killing me this week. So many things were left hanging in the balance with Moff Gideon's return, the capture of Din, unsure how the season would come to a close, but I had a feeling regardless of the outcome, it was going to be an emotional one. Even if the storytelling at large was kind of mixed all throughout Season 3 of The Mandalorian, I really feel like they stuck the landing with these last two episodes, the finale in particular. Everything about the finale just felt like peak Star Wars to me. Excellent action, satisfying emotional moments, and it might be one of my favorite episodes all around of The Mandalorian, although I do think as far as finales go, Season 2's finale still is the strongest of the three. All week long, one of the big conversations was Din Djarin. Is he going to survive? Because we were nervous because he got captured. Turns out we really didn't need to worry all that much. He immediately gets rescued by Grogu in that amazing mech suit. Even though my worries were kind of lessened by this, I was still worried due to the fact that Din was going to go into this battle with Moff Gideon practically alone while the rest of the Mandalorians are facing another battle on the surface. Though it is true he has Grogu by his side, but even with that mech suit, there's only so much you can do against someone like Moff Gideon. R5 is there too. I think it's nice that R5 continues to be randomly the MVP in random situations. In terms of action, something I loved a whole lot about this episode in particular that we have not seen a whole lot of is the hand-to-hand fighting sequences. There aren't as many this season, and they have a plethora in this one, and all of them are great. Din taking on all of the soldiers was an amazing, elaborate set piece, and some other battles along the way too involving Moff Gideon and Bo-Katan. I'm very curious what everyone's favorite action sequence though is among all the ones in the finale, because it seemed like every single time there was this big, epic action sequence, there was no way they were going to top it. That was going to be my favorite one, and then they would find a way to do so all throughout the episode. Since I'm usually a sucker for aerial battles in Star Wars, I was hyped when we saw the big aerial battle with the bombers that Moff Gideon had, and all the Mandalorians. I mean, we literally have a giant jetpack battle. Bo-Katan is leading the charge with the Darksaber. That was a sequence I wish went on for a little bit longer, even though I was having a great time with every single action sequence going on. After much speculation about the cloning tanks, because we keep seeing them pop up in The Mandalorian, we finally get our answer, and the answer is kind of the obvious choice that Moff Gideon is trying to make Force-sensitive clones of himself to make this giant army. It's a very scary yet interesting idea, since we know it's going to continue to be refined more and more as we build up to the return of Palpatine. We know inevitably it is going to work after all, even if it isn't necessarily with Moff Gideon, since they seemingly killed all of his clones, but you never know. There could be one Moff Gideon clone that survives somehow, just like how somehow Palpatine returned. The big rematch we were all anticipating, Din versus Moff Gideon, it didn't disappoint, although I did have PTSD flashbacks to last week, because it seemed like the battle was just going to be your normal standard battle, and then out come those damn Praetorian guards who killed Paz Vizsla last week, and I had PTSD flashbacks. I was like, no, we're going to do this again, but with Din Djarin, he doesn't stand a chance, but thankfully, he does survive, but at the expense of them going after Grogu. I was nervous for Grogu because they separate him from the pack, and he's just running for his life in this room, easily dismantling his mech, so RIP to IG-12. It was a very brief appearance, but a very memorable one. If you want to talk about edge-of-your-seat thrills, I think my favorite battle among all the ones in the finale is the team up with Bo-Katan, Din, and Grogu versus Moff Gideon. I mean, that is peak Star Wars to me, seeing all of them come together. I was sad, though, that Bo-Katan, while she's fighting Moff Gideon, he destroys the Darksaber, so who knows what the implications of that is going to be on the future of these characters. You know, if this entire final battle was epic, I think my favorite moment among everything is Grogu doing a power slide in to finish off Moff Gideon. Moff Gideon gets engulfed in flames, very similar to how Captain Phasma went out in The Last Jedi. Who knows if that's going to be the last time we see Moff Gideon. You know, we know a lot of these Star Wars villains are pretty resilient, and he has a lot of clones, so I would be very shocked if this is the last time that we see Moff Gideon on screen. But I love the way that we also wrapped everything up, although the way that we wrap things up almost kind of signifies the closure of Din Djarin's story, at least kind of sorta in my opinion. I had to love, even though pretty much everybody, us the fans and the characters in the universe, pretty much know Grogu is Din's son, we get the official confirmation that he adopts him, and he's Din Grogu now, so that is cute, very adorable. Even Din has his little house now, he gets to live with Grogu, and that's how we close out this book. That's why I kind of wonder if this is going to be the final piece of the puzzle for Din Djarin as far as his story, because I'm not sure what his arc would be going forward. It's just going to be like Mandalorian Season 1, where he's going to go on more adventures. Who knows? But either way, I thought it closed out the season pretty well. It's not my favorite finale, like I said. I think Season 2's finale still is a little bit stronger, But as a season, it's definitely probably the weakest of the three overall, but I still had a good amount of fun with it. But now for my thoughts on the episode, make sure you share your thoughts down below. What do you think of the season 3 finale of The Mandalorian? Did you like the episode? Did you not like the episode? Were you on an emotional roller coaster much like I was? If you have any theories on where you think we're going to go with the story for season 4, share those in the comment section down below as well, because part of the funness is having the conversation with you guys in the comment section down below. Thank you guys. As always, share the reviews. I always do appreciate it. Make sure you like on the video. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to update reviews, reactions, unboxings, and more. Next time, I'll see you guys later.